Hello, and welcome back to another installment of One Poor Man's Opinion. For anybody not caught up to speed on the series, I take a look at a play that's happened within the last couple days. There's a big uproar about it. I try to break it down and see what I think should have been called on the play, and we go from there. So, most teams have played between 4 to 6 games in the season already, and we've already had our third installment. Oh man, is it going to be a long season? But that's good because the more the people do dumb stuff like that, the more I can put videos out on it. So I'll take it all day. Matthew Tkachuk. Oh, oh, how I've missed you so. I'm surprised it took the third episode before Matthew Tkachuk would show up on this list, but I knew he would inevitably. That is what he does. So, what I'm talking about was a play that was made in the overtime of a 2-2 game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers on October 21st. Sorry, I have my notes as 22nd because that's today. It happened last night. So, we're going to break down the play. We're going to break down kind of everything that happened, and I'll let you know what I think at the end of the video. As always, there will be a link in the description below to the video that I watched on the play to give the assessment, and feel free to go take a look at that video and let me know what you saw. So it boils down to an overtime play in a 2-2 game between Tampa and Florida. So Tampa Bay Lightning forward Nikita Kucherov did get a breakaway, and Florida Panthers forward Matthew Tkachuk is right behind him. Now Kucherov has the step on Tkachuk, and during the breakaway, Tkachuk gives a slash to the back. Now Kucherov does get the shot off on Florida Panthers goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky. Both players wind up in the end board with the follow through from how fast they were skating. And Kachuk did give a hit to Nikita Kucherov. Now, I'm always against hits on the end boards, as I explained in the last installment. But Kucherov did turn towards Matthew Kachuk, so Kachuk hit him forward. That's not nearly as dangerous of a play, but he gave him a shot. It, under all circumstances, was a clean hit. There'd be no reason to give a penalty for the hit that was given. Now, it's what follows after this where things start to devolve quickly. So as Kucherov is going down from the hit, uh, Kachuk kind of gives Kucherov a bit of a face wash with his glove. Um, I am very aware of every player that's going to be mentioned through this whole process. I am aware of how they play, who they are, what they do. And Kucherov really did seem to be selling that face wash pretty hard. Now, the follow up to that, because Kachuk is one of those people that doesn't just idly sit by while players do that. So he kind of gives a shot to the back of Kucherov, which, for all intents and purposes, it was not really a big deal. It was the second shot that I had kind of a bone of contention with, where he gave a shot to the back of the head. Now, once that happened, Tampa Bay Lightning defenseman Victor Hedman, Tampa Bay forward Braden Point, and Florida Panthers forward Sam Bennett all come in and break things up, and a scrum ensues. Now, from there, the penalties assessed on the play was a 2-minute minor to Kachuk for slashing, a 2-minute minor to Kachuk for roughing, which was served by Rudolph Balcers, and a 2-minute minor to Victor Hedman for slashing. So this kind of goes back to the whole point of sometimes a scrum ensues and it's to the detriment of what a player's trying to do. I get Victor Hedman coming in and sticking up for his teammate. That absolutely is the right call, but getting the slashing play on the call in the overtime, I think, was not really worth what you're going to accomplish in that situation, especially knowing who Matthew Tkachuk is. That's a player that's looking for other players to do something like that. Now, I going back to the actual play itself. So the breakaway, the slash on Kachuk or from Kachuk on Kucherov, it was a dirty play. You obviously can't slash in high stick because we have penalties for of that for a reason. Now, the reason that a penalty shot wasn't called is because Kucherov did not lose possession of the puck. So he still got the shot off. Now, the slash itself, it was in the pads of Kucherov. It's like that back area is completely padded. So that's a good thing. I don't really think it excuses anything to any degree, but at least we're not talking him clubbing Kucherov in the back of the head with his stick. So that is an important thing to distinguish, because there was a lot of people that were calling that it was a slash to the head. It was not. So after the contact was made, like I said, the hit itself, it was clean. Again, it was just a play. I get why refs didn't look anything towards the check. The face wash was very unsportsmanlike. And so was the shot to the back, the punch afterwards. Like I said, it was the punch to the head that followed it up. That's where I really started to have a problem with it. Now, Tkachuk does have a suspension history, kind of. So I went through Cap Friendly. I used the transaction tab for Tkachuk's profile, as I always do with players that are on this end of the conversation. And he has 3 suspensions back in 2017, but he doesn't have anything since then that I could find, which is weird because, again, I'm very aware of Matthew Tkachuk, and I could swear he's been suspended since 2017, but apparently not. So, Tkachuk is a player that has always played with an edge, but somehow apparently has avoided suspension. So if the league was to look at a supplemental discipline, they couldn't use the repeat offender as a factor, because even though he has those 3 suspensions, the threshold for repeat offender is 18 months. Being that it's been 5 years since they've had to do anything significant, that would not really be a factor. Now, when I take a look at it, I also am taking into account that this is a rivalry game. It's the Battle of Florida. You're going to see stuff like this happen left, right, and center. As somebody who's watched a lot of Battle of Albertas, I can tell you that's pretty normal. It's a divisional game. It is a rivalry game. Players get flared, and refs kind of swallow the whistle a little bit and just let them duke it out. Now, had this happened in regulation, say this is a second period thing that happens, my first immediate thought on it is Tkachuk should have gotten 5 in a game for it because of the punch to the head more than anything, and to get him out of the way. Likely it would have been in that situation. Similarly, Rudolph Spalsers likely serves that penalty. Matthew Tkachuk gets ejected from the game, and you prevent him from being able to boil over the game at that point. Because this is in overtime, and they were assessed 2 congruent 2-minute penalties, which created a 4-on-3 power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which they did score on, and they did wind up winning the game. I think that was the right call. I think putting them at a disadvantage at that point was the right thing to do. If you give Matthew Tkachuk 5 in a game during the overtime, then that's 1 player out. Hedman has to go for slashing as well. You've now got an even strength game. So assessing both the slashing and the roughing, giving the slashing to Hedman, creating a disadvantage, I think that's going to be more impactful to the fact of you shouldn't have done that than any other situation. Again, mid-game, 5 in a game, get him out of here, because there's no suspension history, and although it was a bad shot, and I really, really am particular with hits to the head, a suspension was completely unnecessary in that situation. But alas, this was something I pointed out to Florida fans. Enjoy having Tkachuk. This is what he does. But again, these are the plays where he really skirts and does flirt with potentially being suspended. But that being said, I'm also factoring into this that Nikita Kucherov, again, it really appeared to be that he was overselling the face wash. So I am automatically assuming he was fine. He's perfectly fine, nothing wrong. The face wash was just really, really rude. Punch to the back head. Yeah, I argue again, shouldn't have been done. I don't think it had any impact on him. I don't think he's going out for concussion protocol. I think it was just a, little bob to the head. So yeah, that being said, that's my final call. I think two congruent 2 minute penalties with Hedman going to the box for his slash, I think was the right call. That gets the point across. You did something stupid. You're at a disadvantage. Now you can deal with the coach. A 5 minute and a 5 in a game doesn't do anything in that situation. And Tkachuk just goes, "Oh darn." So yeah, I do anticipate that Matthew Tkachuk will be on this list again at some point. But hey, we'll see. There's 80 games left, and anything can happen. So that being said, take a look at the video that's linked down below. Let me know what you think. If you saw anything different, if you disagree with what I think on the play, let me know. That's the whole point behind these videos. And yeah, until the next one. Sorry, I always keep trying to miss a step. If you did like the video, please drop a like. If you would like to see more, don't forget to drop a subscribe on your way over to your next video, and you'll get notified anytime I do upload a video. And until the next one, please stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you, and all the best.